It's recently been claimed that water from melted snow is actually dangerous. Is it though? Let's find out. So here we go again, guys. The internet is saying all kinds of crazy stuff. So today, we're going to see if we can make drinkable water from melted snow. Now, the key reason that they're giving for this is because water from melted snow is either dirty or is full of contaminants, but that's water everywhere. So is there anything different between water from snow and water that you get from a creek? We're going to find out. So today, to test this out, I'm going to be using my handy dandy lighter. This is some kind of cheap lighter. I don't know. You can find it at the dollar store or something, guys. And next is this Amazon version of a solo stove. There may or may not be a review and how-to coming in the future. After that, we're going to start the fire with a little bit of alcohol. So we're going to put this in our solo stove. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Last but not least is this big Pathfinder mug. It comes with the big water bottle that you've seen in other videos. I like it in the whole set because in my opinion, you can't have too many of these and you can put them in different packs and things. So this is definitely my most used. You can tell it's a little used, guys, but that just means that it's been doing its job and it's reliable. So I'm gonna pack this up with some snow, move the camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so we've got this full of snow. I'm gonna take the glove off and get our stove ready. Set this aside for a second. You can see it's kind of packed. We're gonna take our alcohol, take this top off here, set the alcohol on this little ledge. I'll show you guys in a future video how to set all this up. Set this guy on top, and we're going to light our alcohol. So let's see how this goes. Just joking. Give that a second to start going, start kicking up. All right, I see our flame. You guys can see that. Let's set our mug right on top. And now we wait. So if I was out in the wilderness and I had to do this for survival reasons, I would probably preheat the mug. If you had gloves or something, or even a rag you could use to hold that, and that way it doesn't take so long for this whole system to warm up. So I'm gonna walk away for a second. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so it's been a couple of minutes. The mug is just starting to warm up. It's about 2 minutes. It's just starting to get warm. I can still touch it, but the snow in here is still obviously frozen. So this is not the most effective or efficient way to gather water, but in an emergency, let's see if it works. While we're doing this, another thing to keep in mind is that this is probably not going to be the most efficient or effective way to source some kind of drinking water. So if you have a better way at your disposal, especially if this is a survival situation, then make sure you use that. If you're just doing it for fun, then by all means do this. But it might actually take a little bit of time to melt that snow down in the water and then filter that water and bring it to a boil and everything. So if there's a source of readily available liquid water available, I would probably try to use that first. As with any survival or outdoorsy strategy, just make sure you're using good common sense and make sure that you're not hurting yourself, because especially again in a survival situation, that can be life-ending. So practice good smarts, guys. All right, so it's been a few minutes. The mug is just starting to get warm. I can still touch it up here. Down here is a little bit warmer, but the snow inside is still pretty frozen, obviously, because it's only been about 3 minutes. So it's not gonna melt super fast, but it is starting to warm up. So let's leave it for a few more minutes and we'll come right back. It's been about another minute and a half, and instead of being up to here, the snow level is about here. So keep in mind you're gonna get a little bit of evaporation, and there's not gonna be as much mass to this because you're going from a solid form to a liquid form. So you're gonna lose a bit of that mass, and let's come back in a couple minutes. I should have put a little timer on here for you guys. I kept track of this time a little bit better. But it's been about another minute and a half, and in that short amount of time, the snow is gone from where it was to about down here. And you can visually see that this mug is getting a little warm. You can see the flame coming out around it. And I can see, instead of the snow being hugged up against the walls, it's kind of collapsing into itself. So we're definitely getting some action here. And it's not taking as long as I thought it was gonna take. So come back in a couple minutes. So I decided to move the camera a little bit so you guys can see in there. I don't want to move this too much, I want to keep it warming up. You can see the level of snow versus what it was. It's been about another 2 minutes since the last time that we checked on it. So I'm going to let it sit there. It's going pretty well, guys, so we'll come back and see how it goes. While you're doing things like this, if you're going to use a stove like this, you want to make sure that you use the right type of fuel, because some burn faster than others and some burn hotter than others. So do your research, and I can also do a video in the future. Let me know if you'd like to see that in the comments below. All right, it's only been about a minute and a half, so this gets exponential. We're getting some water, guys. There we go. Doesn't look too dirty to drink as it is either. Okay, so we've had this on here for about 10 minutes and we're starting to get mostly water, guys. The handles on this mug are still pretty cool to the touch. That's a really nice benefit of starting with snow because you don't have to use a rag or gloves or something to hold these handles. So it shouldn't take much longer now. You can see some steam coming out the top. And we're not gonna wait for it to boil, okay? So at this point, last few seconds, we've got a little bit of snow in there, a little bit of ice left, but you can see inside that, it's pretty clear, guys. There's a little bit of sediment in there. I'll try to angle it for the camera so you guys can see this, but it's not a whole lot to talk about. What I would do with this little bit of water, again, pointing out that this much snow turned into this much water, I would definitely run this through some kind of a filter. So there's a bunch of different kind of filter types. You can use a man-made filter or just like a cloth bag or something just to get some of the sediment out of there. So is it the most efficient way to get drinking water? No, probably not. But in a pinch in the wintertime, you can use snow if you have the right gear to make yourself some water so you can stay hydrated and make it through the situation that you're in. Again, guys, just make sure to filter that sediment out of there if you can and bring it to a boil. This thing's still going strong after about 15 minutes, so make sure that you use the right type of fuel. So yeah, you can use melted snow to make drinkable water. Again, guys, I would use some kind of filter to filter out as much sediment as possible if you can. At least boil it down to get rid of all those nasty little things in there that'll get you sick. If you guys would like to see a video in the future about different water filtration methods, let me know in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe, and share it with somebody that you think can benefit from this information. This is empty. I want to wash it out. I didn't drink it. I dumped it out. As always, guys, get outside. And that's a wrap. Yes, you can drink melted snow. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Just be smart about it. What's the most fun part about making videos? Playing with fire. Duh. That's always got to be in there, right?